project 4, this is an example of what you're going to make. You're going to make a walking character. You're going to add the ball from your bouncing ball project to the stage. Then you're going to animate it to bounce a little like a body does when it walks. Then you're going to make legs and feet for the body and connect them with bones to move them together as a unit. Then you're going to pose the legs so their motion is realistic. You're going to animate the character to walk across the stage. Then you're going to publish your movie so you can share it with other people. What do you do in Lab 1? You import the ball symbol from your bouncing ball project to a new Flash project. Then you're going to have that ball be the body for your character. One thing we do in this project that's a little different from other projects, when we go and save this, we save different versions of the project. Why do we do this? It's just that makes it easier, if you make a mistake and go back to an earlier version of your file. Because this is a little more complicated than the project you're used to. So now what we usually do, we save this as a file 3. Then we go File, Save As. So we drill down to where we are at in our program. So I save this as walking character L1. Now, of course, I do my usual check here. I check here under Window. I make sure Essentials are checked. Which it is. Then I click Reset Essentials. We're all set to go. When we talk about a walk cycle, what do we mean? A walk cycle is when you take a step with your left leg and then you take a step with your right leg. Walk cycle of one full cycle of steps. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to name our layer walk cycle. Here's an example of a movie clip symbol. Now you may have been wondering, how can you make a character do two things at once? In this case, how do you make the bird go in a path across the stage and flap its wings? The secret is, within the bird symbol, movie clip symbol itself, you can have timelines. Now what's really cool about this is that the movie clip can contain many different movie clips within it. So you can not only have one thing going on, you can have several things going on at the same time. You can get really sophisticated. In this project, we're going to create an empty walk cycle symbol to start with. Then we're going to add body part symbols inside of it, such as body, legs, and feet. We're going to use the walk symbols timeline to create mini animations for different body parts, so the body will bounce and the legs will swing. You'll use the main timeline to move the character across the stage. Because the mini animations are contained in the walk cycle symbol, they are part of the symbol and would be imported with the symbol if you use it in another project. So we're going to add an empty symbol for our walking character. These symbols are going to the symbol is going to contain the body parts of the symbols that you're going to add later. So I click on the Insert menu. I click Add New Symbol. In the Create New Symbol dialog box, in the name field, I'm going to call this Walk Cycle. Now we change this, make sure this is a movie clip. So now I click OK. Now the new symbol will open automatically. You can tell you're in the symbols timeline now because the name of the symbol appears in the stage next to scene 1. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to import my external library. So I click on the File menu, Import. Open External Library. So I go back to my Resources folder. I go into Project 3. And I pick my ball FLA file. Click Open. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the ball symbol on the plus sign right here. So I just drag it and drop it. And I just close out my library because I don't need it anymore. Now I'm going to rename the symbol from ball to body. Okay, so what I can do is I go click on the library where I have ball right down here. I right click, I click rename, and I call this body. Now I'm going to rename layer 1 body. So I'm going to double click, call it body. Okay, when you create an empty symbol, it's added to the movie's internal library but not to the stage. So far we've been working inside the walk cycle movie symbol. So if I go outside, my symbol disappears. Now that we've added a body and symbol inside the walk cycle symbol, we're going to add the walk cycle symbol to the stage in the main timeline so it'll show in the main animation. So we're going to add the symbol from the library panel to the stage of the main movie. So we want that to appear in the main movie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the walk cycle symbol from the library panel to the top half of the stage near the middle. Now we're doing the walk cycle, not the body. So my walk cycle symbol is going to appear on the stage. Right now it's just a body, but we're going to add other parts to it later. So now since you're done with Lab 1, what you do is you check your work and save your file. So now just to be on the safe side, we're going to save this as Walk Cycle Lab 2. So I go File, Save As, Walk Cycle, Walking Character, L, and I'm going to just replace the 1 with the 2. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a slight bounce to the body and make it go up and down. You see a little squash to it, just to emphasize the movement as the body moves as you walk. So now I'm going to insert a motion tween. I go Insert, Motion Tween. See in the body cycle now in frame 1, in frame 12, and frame 24, the body is in the up position. In frame 6 and frame 18, the body is in the down position. So now we need to add a keyframe to frame 6, 12, 18, and 24. So I click on frame 6. And I go function key 6. Add a keyframe. Or you can always go insert timeline keyframe, just like that. See? 6, 12, function of 6, 18, function of 6, and 24, function of 6. There you go. You can see that the leg steps forward on frames 6 and 18. So all we have to do is we have to lower the body on frame 6 and then copy that to frame 12. I mean frame 18. So now I click in frame 6, which should select my image. Then I just come down a little bit. I just click the down arrow. Let me zoom in so you can see what's going on. See, you can see the original position. Now it's down here. Now I can run my movie to make sure I got it right. So now I got to squash the body, make it short and fat, so I got to zoom in a little bit. Then I click my transform tool, and I just squeeze it down just a little bit and then make it a little fatter. So all I need to do is preview the squash, so I click enter. Since I only want frame 6, I hold down the control key and I press frame 6. So now I'm going to right click frame 6 and then click copy properties. And now I'm going to hold down the key, control key to select frame 18 because I only want frame 18. I'm going to right click it and click paste properties. So we're going to click enter to preview that second bounce. Now you check your project and save your work because we're going to lab 3. In lab 3, what we're going to do is we're going to make the upper leg and position it on the body. First thing is we're going to resave this as lab 3. Go File, Save As, Walking Character L3 for lab 3. Once again, this is just in, we're going through some more complicated steps here. And you want to be able to go back to a working file if you make a big mistake. So I'm going to make sure I have the selection symbol selected. Now I'm going to click in the edit symbols. I'm going to choose walk cycle because I want to edit that. I want to edit some things inside the walk cycle. Now I'm going to add a new layer and call this right leg. To make it easier for me to work with the legs and draw them and do all that, I'm going to turn off snapping. So I'm going to go click the view menu and I'm going to go down to snapping and I'm going to come over here to edit snapping and I'm going to take out the check marks and click OK. Now we're going to draw the upper leg. So in the timeline in the right leg layer, I'm going to click frame 1. In the Tools panel, I'm going to click the Rectangle tool. Now I'm going to click the Fill Color, and then I'm going to click Red, Properties, Fill Color. I'm going to pick Red. Make sure you're using the same colors as in the examples. This way you can follow the instructions correctly. So I'm going to click No Stroke Color in the stroke color here. Let me pull this over so you can see what I'm doing. Clicking No Stroke Color. Now we don't want to make sure these don't have any rounded edges. You can make sure this is 0.00. If it isn't, change it. I'm going to make a tall, thin rectangle that's just a little bit shorter than the body. Your lesson tells you that the trick to drawing a perfect circle is to hold down the Shift key as you drag out that oval. So I'm going to make a leg joint. So I can do is click on come up with my oval tool. Now I'm going to make a circle small enough to fit on this end, but I'm not going to touch that. I'm just going to make it separate. There we go. Now I'm going to make a second leg joint. I'm going to click up here, the selection tool. I'm going to click my leg joint. I'm going to click Edit, Copy. I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to click Paste and Place. And there's 2 leg joints there, but it only looks like 1 for right now. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. Now I got this selection thing done. Now I'm going to make the hip joint. Put it right on the upper leg here. And put the knee joint on the bottom of it. So now I click in frame 1 of the right leg. That selects the whole leg. Now I'm going to convert it to a symbol. So I could click Modify, Convert to a Symbol. And to make sure it says Movie Clip, and I call this one Leg. Make sure it says Movie Clip and click Clip and say Click. OK. Now we're going to position the leg on the body. Make sure you've got the selection tool selected. And you're going to drag the leg down, and you're going to make sure that that joint is right inside the lower part of the body, just like that. Then you're going to save your work. And you are done with level 3.